Evil and Rarity Dash here. Time for another Patreon-sponsored blind reaction. And this one comes to you courtesy of AJ Agreste, who has requested that I react to Part 3 of the Hamilton animatic. Yep, we're finally continuing this. Sorry for the wait. But yeah, excited to get back into it. So far it's been excellent. Really enjoying it. The music is incredible. And it's nice to have a visual component to go along with it in the form of the animatic. I mean, it would be great on its own, just because it is great, but that just adds a little bit more. And yeah, just so far, been a lot of fun, and I'm excited to see where the story goes from here. Obviously, we're building up to the big duel. Don't know if we'll get there this time. Probably not, because there is going to be a Part 4. Part 4 is probably going to be a bit shorter, because that's how the patron has decided to split it up. But yeah, we're not going to be completing it this time. And but we are going to be doing another 42 minutes, so there's probably going to be a lot of stuff here, and hopefully it's pretty good stuff. But let's get started and find out. And here we go. The room where it happens.
Ah, Mr. Secretary.
Mr. Burr, sir.
And did you hear the news about good old General Mercer?
No.
You know Claremont Street?
Yeah.
They renamed it after him. The Mercer legacy is secure.
Sure.
And all he had to do was die.
Well, that's a lot less work.
We ought to give it. Now how you gonna get your debt
Foreshadowing.
through?
I guess I'm gonna finally have to listen to you.
Really?
Talk less, smile more, do whatever it takes to get my plan on the Congress floor.
Now Madison and Jefferson are merciless.
Well, hate the sin, love the sinner.
Hamilton.
I'm sorry, Burr, I gotta go.
But
Decisions are happening over dinner.
two Virginians and an immigrant walk into a room diametrically opposed foes. They emerge with a compromise, having opened doors that were previously closed. Bros. The immigrant emerges with unprecedented financial power, a system he can shape however he wants. The Virginians emerge with the nation's capital. And here's the pièce de résistance. No one else was in the room where it happened, the room where it happened, the room where it happened. No one else was in the room where it happened, the room where it happened, the room where it happened. No one really knows how the game is played, the art of the trade, how the sausage gets made.
Okay.
Just assume that it happens, but no one else is in the room where it happens.
Yeah, Lin-Manuel Miranda definitely has a way with hooks.
One day in distress and disarray. Alexander said,
Some very catchy music.
basically begged me to join the fray. I approached Madison and said, I know you hate him, but let's hear what he has to say. Well, I arranged the meeting. I arranged the menu, the venue, the seating.
But no one else was in the room where it happened, the room where it happened, the room where it happened. No one else was in the room where it happened, the room where it happened, the room where it happened. No one really knows how the parties get to yes. The pieces that are sacrificed in every game of chess. We just assume that it happens, but no one else is in the room where it happens. Meanwhile, Madison is grappling with the fact that not every issue can be settled by committee. Meanwhile, Congress is fighting over where to put the capital. It isn't pretty. Then Jefferson approaches with the dinner and invite, and Madison responds with Virginian insight.
Maybe we can solve one problem with another and win the victory for the Southerners. In other words,
Ho, ho.
a quid pro quo.
I suppose.
Wouldn't you like to work a little closer to home?
Actually, I would.
Well, I propose the Potomac.
And you'll provide him his votes.
Well, we'll see how it goes.
Let's go.
No.
What else was in the room where it happened? The room where it happened. The room where it happened. No one else was in the room where it happened. The room where it happened. The room where it happened.
My God, you got to trust, but we never really know what got discussed. Click, boom, and it happened. And no one else is in the room where it happened.
Alexander Hamilton.
What did they say to you to get you to sail New York City down the river?
Alexander Hamilton.
Did Washington know about the dinner? Was there presidential pressure to deliver?
Alexander Hamilton.
Or did you know even then it doesn't matter where you put the U.S. Capitol?
Cause we'll have the banks, we're in the same spot.
You got more than you gave.
And I wanted what I got. When you got skin in the game, you stay in the game. But you don't get a win unless you play in the game. Oh, you get love for it, you get hate for it, you get nothing if you wait for it, wait for it, wait. God help and forgive me. I wanna build something that's gonna outlive me. What do you want, Bird? What do you want, Bird? If you stand for nothing, Bird, what do you want? I wanna be in the room where it happens.
Oh.
The room where it happens.
Just wants to be a part of it.
The room where it happens. The room where it happens. I wanna be in the room where it happens.
Part of the discussion. Maybe not even part of the discussion, just privy to the discussion.
Hold your nose and close your eyes. We don't get a say in what they trade away. We dream of a brand new start, but we dream in the dark for the most part. Dark as a tomb where it happens. I've got to be in the room. I've got to be where it happens. I've got to be where it happens. I've got to be in the room where it happens. I gotta be in the room.
Nice visuals for the animatic, by the way.
Click, boom.
Oh.
Look, Grandpa's in the paper. War hero Philip Schuyler in danger of losing Senate seat to young upstart Aaron Burr. Grandpa might lose his seat in the Senate.
I thought he was unopposed.
Not according to the paper, he isn't.
Go make sure the door is closed.
Further down, see Schuyler has a challenger from New York.
New York
For Senator Burr.
I gotta find Alexander.
Let him know we're on his side.
So that's the song.
Consider this a personal slander. I've gotta stop a homicide.
Oh.
Look around, we should look around. Let's go and find your father down in New York.
New York.
Burr, since when are you a Democratic Republican?
Since being one put me on the up and up again.
No one knows who you are or what you do.
They
Yeah.
need to know me. They don't like you.
Excuse me?
Oh, Wall Street thinks you're great. You'll always be adored by the things you create. But upstate, you're the rascal who trades away the capital.
Wait.
The asshole who taxes the alcohol.
I've always considered you a friend.
I don't see why that has to end. A Senate seat was up for grabs and I took it. It's not my fault. People think you're crooked.
You're gonna make a fool of me through my father-in-law?
There's the kid who almost shot Charles Lee in the jaw. My God, your pride will be the death of us all. Beware, it goeth before the fall.
Alexander, there you are.
Liza.
You forgot your papers, Mr. Bird, good sir, it's been so long. How are the Theodosians?
As a matter of fact, my wife has taken ill.
Oh.
I'm not surprised, what with the chill, you'll send her our regards.
I will.
And how's your daughter?
She's my pride and joy, fluent in French and Latin. So am I. She's the same age as your boy.
Yeah, one day he'll run
We
Manhattan.
must be going, Burr, but send your girls our love.
Nice to meet your son.
We're not done, Mr. Burr, sir.
If I were you, I'd stick with her, sir.
Stop. Oh.
Dear Theodosia, I would say to you, sometime last night, your mother breathed your name, and like a flame that flickers out too soon, she died. She's gone. Oh.
Wow. Can't even sing the song. That's effective.
She made my life worthwhile, and when you smile, I know a part of her lives on. I know I can go on. You have come of age with our young nation. We bleed and fight. Sometimes it seems that's all we do, but you and I will build a strong foundation. And I'll be here for you. The way is clear for you to blow us all away. Someday. Yeah, you'll blow us all away. Someday.
France is on the verge of war with England. Now, do we provide aid and troops to our French allies, or do we stay out of it? Remember, my decision on this matter is not subject to congressional approval. The only person you have to convince is me. Secretary Jefferson, you have the floor, sir.
When we were on death's door, when we were needy, we made a promise. We signed a treaty. We needed money and guns and half a chance. Who provided those funds?
France.
In return, they didn't ask for land. Only a promise that we'd lend a hand and stand with them if they fought against oppressors. And revolution is messy, but now is the time to stand. Stand with our brothers as they fight against tyranny. I know that Alexander Hamilton is here and he would rather not have this debate. I'll remind you that he is not Secretary of State. He knows nothing of loyalty. Smells like new money, dresses like fake royalty. Desperate to rise above his station. Everything he does betrays the ideals of our nation. Hey, and if you don't know, now you know, Mr. President.
Thank you, Secretary Jefferson. Secretary Hamilton, your response.
Come on, let's see it. You must be out of your goddamn mind if you think the president is gonna bring the nation to the brink of meddling in the middle of a military mess, a game of chess where France is queen and kingless, who signed a treaty with a king whose head is now in a basket. Would you like to take it out and ask it? Or should we honor our treaty, King Louis's head? Do whatever you want. I'm super dead. Enough. Hamilton is right.
Mr. President.
We're too fragile to start another fight.
But, sir, do we not fight for freedom?
Sure, when the French figure out who's gonna lead them.
The people are leading.
The people are rioting. There's a difference. Frankly, it's a little disquieting. You would let your ideals blind you to reality. Hamilton,
sir,
draft a statement of neutrality.
Did you forget Lafayette?
What?
Have you an ounce of regret? You accumulate debt, you accumulate power, yet in their hour of need you forget.
Lafayette's a smart man, he'll be fine. And before he was your friend, he was mine. If we try to fight in every revolution in the world, we never stop. Where do we draw the line?
So quick-witted.
Alas, I admit it.
I bet you were quite a lawyer.
My defendants got acquitted.
Yeah. Well, someone ought to remind you.
What?
You're nothing without Washington behind you.
Hamilton.
Daddy's calling.
It must be nice, it must be nice to have Washington on your side. It must be nice, it must be nice to have Washington on your side.
Every action has its equal opposite reaction. Thanks to Hamilton, our cabinet's fractured into factions. Try not to crack under the stress, we're breaking down like fractions. We smack each other in the press and we don't print retractions. I get no satisfaction witnessing his fits of passion. The way he primps and preens and dresses like the pits of fashion. Our poorest citizens, our farmers, live ration to ration as Wall Street robs them blind in search of chips to cash in. This prick is asking for someone to bring him to task. Somebody give me some dirt on his vacuous mask so we can at last unmask him. I'll pull the trigger on him. Someone load the gun and cock it. While we were all watching, he got Washington in his pocket. It must be nice, it must be nice to have Washington on your side. It must be nice, it must be nice to have Washington on your side. Look back at the Bill of Rights, which I wrote. The ink hasn't dried. It must be nice, it must be nice to have Washington on your side.
So he's doubled the size of the government. Wasn't the trouble with much of our previous government size?
Look in his eyes, see how he lies.
Follow the scent of his enterprise.
Centralizing national credit and making American credit competitive.
If we don't stop it, we aid and abet it.
I have to resign.
Somebody has to stand up for the South.
But somebody has to stand up to his mouth. If there's a fire you're trying to douse, you can't put it out from inside the house. I'm in the cabinet, I am complicit in watching him grabbing and power and kissing. If Washington isn't gonna listen to disciplined dissidents, this is the difference. This kid is out.
There we go. That's some.
Immigrant isn't somebody we chose. Oh, it's immigrants keeping us all on our toes. Oh, and show these federalists who they're up against. Oh, Southern motherfucking Democratic Republic. Oh, now follow the money and see where it goes. Oh, because every second the treasury grows. Oh, if we follow the money and see where it leads, get in the weeds, look for the seeds of Hamilton's misdeeds. It must be nice, it
must be nice.
Follow the money and see where it goes.
It must be nice. It must be nice.
The emperor has no clothes.
We won't be invisible. We won't be denied. Still, it must be nice. It must be nice to have Washington on your side.
Mr. President, you asked to see me. I know you're busy. What do you need, sir?
Very different art style here.
Sir?
I want to give you a word of warning.
Sir, I don't know what you heard, but whatever it is, Jefferson started it.
Wow.
Thomas Jefferson resigned this morning.
You're kidding.
I need a favor.
Whatever you say, sir, Jefferson will pay for this behavior.
Talk less.
I'll use the press, I'll write under a pseudonym. You'll see what I can do to him.
I need you to draft an address.
Yes, he resigned. You can finally speak your mind.
No. He's stepping down so he can run for president.
Ah, good luck defeating you, sir.
I'm stepping down. I'm not running for president.
I'm sorry, what?
One last time. Relax, have a drink with me. One last time. Let's take a break tonight, and then we'll teach him how to say goodbye. To say goodbye, you and I.
No, sir.
I want to talk about neutrality.
Sir, with Britain and France on the verge of war, is this the best
I want to warn against partisan fighting. Pick up a pen, start writing. I want to talk about what I have learned, the hard-won wisdom I have earned.
As far as the people are concerned, you have to serve. You could continue to serve.
One last time, the people will hear from me. One last time, and if we get this right, we're gonna teach them how to say goodbye. You and I.
Mr. President, we will say you're weak.
No, they will see we're strong.
Your position is so unique.
So I'll use it to move them along.
Why do you have to say goodbye?
If I say goodbye, the nation learns to move on.
Yeah.
It outlives me when I'm gone.
Sets the two-term
The scripture says,
precedent.
everyone shall sit under their own vine and fig tree, and no one shall make them afraid. They'll be safe in the nation we've made. I want to sit under my own vine and fig tree, a moment alone in the shade, at home in this nation we've made. One last time.
One last.
Hard to argue with that.
Though, in reviewing the incidents of my administration, I am unconscious of intentional error, I am nevertheless too sensible of my defects not to think it probable that I may have committed many errors. I shall also carry with me the hope that my country will view them with indulgence, and that after 45 years of my life dedicated to its service with an upright zeal, the faults of incompetent abilities will be consigned to oblivion, as I myself will soon be to the mansions of rest.
I anticipate with pleasing expectation that retreat in which I promise myself to realize the sweet enjoyment of partaking in the midst of my fellow citizens, the benign influence of a good laws and a free government, the ever-favorite object of my heart, and the happy reward as I trust of our mutual care, labors and dangers. One last time.
George Washington's going home.
Teach him how to say goodbye.
George Washington's going
You
home.
and I. Going home. History has its eye on you, yeah. say?
Oh.
George Washington's yielding his power and stepping away. Is that true? I wasn't aware that was something a person could do.
Yeah.
I'm perplexed.
Not something you would do.
Are they going to keep on replacing whoever's in charge? If so, who's next? There's nobody else in their country who looms quite as large. John Adams? I know him.
Oh.
That can't be. That's that little guy who spoke to me all those years ago. What was it? 85. That poor man, they're going to eat him alive. Oceans rise, empires fall. Next to Washington, they all look small. All alone, watch them run. They will tear each other into pieces. Jesus Christ is still President John Adams. Good luck.
Okay. So we're skipping over the whole election, I guess.
How does Hamilton, the short-tempered protean creator of the Coast Guard, founder of the New York Post, ardently abuse his cabinet post, destroy his reputation? Welcome, folks, to the Adams administration. Jefferson's the runner-up, which makes him the vice president.
Washington can't help you now, no more Mr. Nice President.
Adams fires Hamilton, privately calls him Creole bastard in his taunts.
Say what?
Hamilton publishes his response.
An open letter to the fat, arrogant, anti-charismatic, national embarrassment known as President John Adams.
This is some weird,
He claims that I'm in league with Britain in some vast international intrigue. Bitch, please, you wouldn't know what
Weird
I'm
Rule
doing.
63
You're always
version.
going berserk, but you never show up to work. Give my regards to Abigail next time you write about my lack of moral compass. At least I do my job up in this rumpus. The line is behind me, I crossed it again. Well, the president lost it again. Oh, such a rough life. Better
Bit
run to your
distracting,
life, or the boss
but-
is in Boston again. Let me ask you a question. Who sits at your desk when you're in Massachusetts? You were calling you a dick back in 76, and you haven't done anything new since.
Impressive rapping.
With no sense, you'll die of irrelevance. Go ahead, you can call me the devil. You spot him, I love you spot him, malevolence. Say hi to the Jeffersons and the spies all around me. Maybe they can confirm. I don't care if I kill my career with this letter. Confining you to one term. You fat mother.
Oh, wow.
Hamilton's out of control.
This is great. He's out of power. He holds no office, and he just destroyed President John Adams, the only other significant member of his party.
Hamilton is a host unto himself. As long as he can hold a pen, he's a threat. Let's let him know what we know.
Mr. Vice President. Mr. Madison. Senator Burr. What is this?
We have the check stubs from separate accounts.
Almost $1,000 paid in different amounts.
To a Mr. James Reynolds way
Oh.
back in 1791.
Is that what you have? Are you done?
You are uniquely situated by virtue of your position.
Though virtue is not a word I'd apply to this situation.
To seek financial gain, to stray from your sacred mission.
And the evidence suggests you engaged in speculation.
An immigrant embezzling our government funds.
I can almost see the headline, your career is done.
I hope you save some money for your daughter and sons.
Your best one, run back where you come from.
Does he have a daughter now?
You don't even know what you're
Where'd I
asking
forget that?
me to confess. You have nothing, I don't have to tell you anything at all. Unless if I can prove that I never broke the law, do you promise not to tell another soul what you saw?
No one else was in the room where it happened.
Is that a yes?
Yes. Dear sir, I hope this letter finds you in good health and in a prosperous enough position to put wealth in the pockets of people like me down on their luck. You see, that was my wife who you decided to.
Escorted me to bed, and when she had me in a corner, that's when Reynolds extorted me for assorted me. I paid him quarterly. I may have mortally wounded my prospects, but my papers are orderly. As you can see, I kept a record of every check in my checkered history. Check it again against your list and see consistency. I never spent a cent that was wasn't mine. You sent the dogs after my scent, that's fine. Yes, I have reason for shame, but I have not committed treason and sullied my good name. As you can see, I have done nothing to provoke legal action. All my answers to your satisfaction.
My God.
Gentlemen, let's go.
Yeah.
So?
The people won't know what we know.
Burr, how do I know you won't use this against me the next time
Oh,
you go toe to
that's
toe?
Merc.
Alexander, rumors only grow.
And we both know what we know.
Not the answer he wants to hear there.
In the eye of a hurricane there is quiet for just a moment. A yellow sky. When I was 17, a hurricane destroyed my town. I didn't drown. I couldn't seem to die. I wrote my way out. Wrote everything down far as I could see. I wrote my way out. I looked up and the town had its eyes on me. We passed a plate around. Total strangers, moved to kindness by my story. Raised enough for me to book passage on a ship that was New York bound. I wrote my way out of hell. I wrote my way to revolution. I was louder than the crack in the bell. I wrote Eliza love letters until she fell. I wrote about the Constitution and defended it well. And in the face of ignorance and resistance, I wrote financial systems into existence. And when my prayers to God were met with indifference, I picked up a pen, I wrote my own deliverance. In the eye of a hurricane there is quiet for just a moment. A yellow sky. I was 12 when my mother died. She was holding me. We were sick and she was holding me. I couldn't seem to die. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. I'll write my way out. Write everything down far as I can see. I'll write my way out. Overwhelm them with honesty. This is the eye of the hurricane. This is the only way I can protect my legacy.
The Reynolds pamphlet. Have you read this? Alexander Hamilton had a torrid affair, and he wrote it down right there. Highlights. The charge against me is a connection with one James Reynolds for purposes of improper speculation. My real crime is an amorous connection with his wife for a considerable time with his knowing consent. I had frequent meetings with her, most of them in my own house.
At his own house.
At his own house.
Mrs. Hamilton with our children being absent on a visit to her father.
No. Have you read
Well,
this?
he never gonna be president now.
Never gonna be president now.
Yeah.
Be president now.
Never gonna be
What was that?
Never gonna be president now.
Never gonna be president now.
One less thing to worry about. That's one less thing to worry about.
I came as soon as I heard.
Angelica.
All the way from London. Damn.
Angelica, thank God someone who understands what I'm struggling here to do.
I'm not here for you.
Yeah.
I know my sister like I know my own mind. You will never find anyone as trusting or as kind. I love my sister more than anything in this life. I will choose her happiness over mine every time. Put what we had aside. I'm standing at
That was interesting. Oh God.
Never gonna be president now. 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 One less thing to worry about. That's one less thing to worry about. At least he was honest with our money. Never gonna be president now. At least he was honest with our money. That's one less thing to worry about. The Reynolds family. Have you read this?
That doesn't sound good.
I saved every letter you wrote me. From the moment I read them, I knew you were mine. You said you were mine. I thought you were mine. Do you know what Angelica said when we saw your first letter arrive? She said, be careful with that one, love. He will do what it takes to survive. You and your words flooded my senses. Your sentences left me defenseless. You built me palaces out of paragraphs. You built cathedrals. Only reading the letters you wrote me, I'm searching and scanning for answers in every line, for some kind of sign. And when you were mine, the world seemed to You published the letters she wrote you. You told the whole world how you brought this girl into our bed. In clearing your name, you have ruined our lives. Do you know what Angelica said when she read what you'd done? She said, you've married an Icarus. He's flown too close to the sun. You and your words obsessed with your legacy. Your sentences border on senseless, and you are paranoid in every paragraph. How they perceive you. I'm erasing myself from the narrative. Let future historians wonder how Eliza reacted when you broke her heart.
Okay, so I guess we don't know then. We're just assuming.
Watching it burn. The world has no right to my heart. The world has no place in our bed. They don't get to know what I said. I'm burning the memories, burning the letters that might have redeemed you. You forfeit all rights to my heart. You forfeit the place in our bed. You'll sleep in your office instead, with only the memories of when you were mine.
Yeah! It's all starting to come undone.
I hope that you
Wow. I mean, fair enough, but...
Meet the latest graduate of King's College. I probably shouldn't brag, but that guy amazed and astonished. The scholars say I got the same virtuosity and brains as my pops. The ladies say my brain's not where the resemblance stops. I'm only 19, but my mind is older. Gotta be my own man, like my father, but bolder. I shoulder his legacy with pride. I used to hear him say that someday I would blow us all away. Ladies, I'm looking for Mr. George Eaker. Made a speech last week, our 4th of July speaker. He disparaged my father's legacy in front of a crowd. I can't have that. I'm making my father proud.
I saw him dressed up Broadway a couple of blocks. He was going to see a play.
Well, I go visit his box.
God, you're a fox.
And y'all look pretty good in your frocks. How about when I get back, we all strip down to our socks?
Smooth.
George,
I'm trying to watch the show.
You should have watched your mouth before you talked about my father, though.
I didn't say anything that wasn't true. Your father's a scoundrel, and so it seems to you.
It's like that?
Yeah, I don't fool around. I'm not your little schoolboy.
See you on the dueling ground. That is, unless you want to step outside and go now.
I know where to find you. Piss off and watching this show now.
Pops, if you had only heard the shit he said about you, I doubt you would have let it slide, and I was not about to.
Slow down.
I came to ask you for advice. This is my very first duel. They don't exactly cover this subject in boarding school.
Did your friends attempt to negotiate a peace?
He refused to apologize. We had to let the peace talk cease.
Where is this happening?
Across the river in Jersey. Everything is legal in New Jersey.
Okay.
So this is what you're gonna do. Stand there like a man until Iker is in front of you. When the time comes, fire your weapon in the air. This will put an end to the whole affair.
But what if he decides to shoot, then I'm a goner?
No, you'll follow suit if he's truly a man of honor. To take someone's life, that is something you can't shake. Philip, your mother can't take another heartbreak. Promise me.
This isn't gonna end well, is it?
Young man's blood on your conscience.
Okay, I promise.
Come back home when you're done. Take my guns. Be smart. Make me proud, son.
My name is Philip. I am a poet. And I'm a little nervous, but I can't show it. I'm sorry, I'm a Hamilton with pride. You talk about my father, I cannot let it slide. Mr. Iker, how was the rest of your show?
I'd rather skip the pleasantries. Let's go. Grab your pistol.
Confer with your men. The duel will commence after we count to 10.
Count to 10.
Look him in the eye, ain't no higher. Summon all the courage you require. And slowly and clearly aim your gun towards the sky.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah. Well, damn.
Where's my son?
Mr. Hamilton, come in. They brought him in a half an hour ago. He lost a lot of blood on the way
alive?
on. Yes, but you have to understand. The bullet entered just above his hip and lodged in
Can
his
I
right
see
arm.
him, please?
I'm doing everything I can, but the wound was already infected when he arrived.
Philip.
Pa, I did exactly as you said, Pa.
Well, if this happened, it's kind of surprising that he went ahead with his own duel.
I know you did everything just right.
Even before we got to
I mean, you would think this would kind of sour him on the whole thing.
I know. I know. Save your strength and stay alive.
Is he breathing? Is he going to survive this? Who did this, Alexander? Did you know?
Mom, I'm so sorry for forgetting what you taught me.
My son,
We played piano.
I taught you piano.
You would put your hands on mine.
You changed the melody every time.
I would always change the line.
Shh, I know.
I would always change the line.
I know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
6, 7, 8, 9.
Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9. There are moments that the words don't reach. There is suffering too terrible to name. You hold your child as tight as you can and push away the unimaginable. The moments when you're in so deep, it feels easier to just swim down. The Hamiltons move uptown and learn to live with the unimaginable.
I spend hours in the garden. I walk alone to the store, and it's quiet uptown. I never liked the quiet before. I take the children to church on Sunday, a sign of the cross at the door, and I pray. That never used to happen before.
If you see him in the street, walking by himself, talking to himself, have pity.
Philip, you would like it uptown. It's quiet uptown.
God.
He's working through the unimaginable.
His hair is gone gray. He passes every day. They say he walks the length of the city.
You knock me out, I fall apart.
Can you imagine?
started. I know I don't deserve you, Eliza, but hear me out, that would be enough. If I could spare his life, if I could trade his life for mine, he'd be standing here right now, and you would smile, and that would be enough. I don't pretend to know the challenges we're facing. I know there's no replacing what we've lost, and you need time, but I'm not afraid. I know who I married. Just let me stay here by your side. That would be enough.
If you see him in the street, walking by your side, talking by your side, have pity.
Eliza, do you like it uptown? It's quiet uptown.
He is trying to do the unimaginable. See them walking in the park, long after dark, taking in the sights of the city.
Look around, Eliza.
They are trying to do the unimaginable.
There are moments that the words don't reach. There's a grace too powerful to name. We push away what we can never understand. We push away the unimaginable. They are standing in the garden, Alexander by Eliza's side. She takes his hand. It's quiet uptown.
Forgiveness. Can you imagine? Forgiveness. Can you imagine? If you see him in the street, walking by your side, talking by your side, have pity. They are going through the unimaginable.
Yeah? That about says it, and I think this is where we're gonna cut off. Yeah, so that's it for part 3. Part 4 will be shorter, but it should be pretty interesting. I mean, we still got to get to Alexander's duel, which, yeah. I didn't know that his son died in a duel, too. That kind of makes it a bit weird that he was willing to do that. But at the same time, I mean, it shows he's kind of depressed. I mean, so maybe he's just ready. He doesn't really care. He's just... I don't know. But good stuff. I mean, not as fun as the first 2 parts. Definitely this is the tragic stuff, and we're definitely, yeah, getting into the more emotional, more tragic things starting to go wrong. It's less the rise and more the fall now. But I mean, there's still some really, really catchy, really, really, really good music in here. Yeah, just overall still really good, and we're kind of seeing how it's definitely building towards that end. They're kind of, the wedge between Hamilton and Burr is only growing with each thing. They're on definite diverging paths, and I'm sure that'll only continue until the duel takes place. So yeah, but it's really good. I mean, really, really good stuff. Not really sure what else to say. I mean, yeah. Not sure what's left, other than the duel, of course, which I'm sure will take quite a bit of time. and there'll probably be like a wrap-up after it, so I'm not really sure what else we're gonna get, but interesting stuff this time. Yeah, pretty successful with the emotional stuff. It didn't make me feel, I don't know if I quite cried, but it did kind of get me to my eyes to whelp a little bit there at the end. And I think also in Burr's sad song when his wife died, just the effect they used with him not even able to actually sing the familiar melody from earlier, that was pretty well done. And yeah, the sad animatic helped too. Yeah, but good stuff. And yeah, we'll get to part 4 eventually, maybe next month, hopefully. We'll see. But anyway, hope you liked the reaction. Let me know if you did, and see you in the next one.